The Buck Rogers Magic Pistol, inspired by the popular science fiction character Buck Rogers, was designed to fire small projectiles using a chemical reaction. This toy stood out in its time for offering children what seemed like a true science fiction experience, complete with dramatic sounds and visible effects. However, its mechanism, which used explosive chemical reactions to propel projectiles, eventually raised significant safety alarms. The pistol worked by mixing water with a calcium carbide compound to produce acetylene gas. This gas would then ignite, creating a small explosion that launched the toy's projectile. While this chemical reaction was undeniably fascinating, it also introduced a myriad of risks. Safety risks. Chemical hazards. The primary safety issue with the Buck Rogers Magic Pistol was its reliance on calcium carbide. While the compound was relatively easy to obtain at the time, its usage posed notable risks. The chemical reaction produced acetylene gas, which is highly flammable. Handling calcium carbide could lead to accidental skin burns or inhalation of harmful fumes. Children, naturally curious but often careless, were at high risk of mishandling the chemical. Additionally, the explosions generated by the acetylene gas were not always predictable. If the toy was incorrectly assembled or if there was an excess of calcium carbide, the blast could become powerful enough to damage the plastic housing of the pistol, sending shards flying. This inconsistency in performance and safety was a significant design flaw. Projectile injuries. The Magic Pistol's projectiles, typically small and lightweight, were propelled with a surprising amount of force. This led to a risk of injury, particularly to the face and eyes, unlike modern toys which are extensively tested to meet safety standards. The Buck Rogers Magic Pistol was released in an era when such regulations were minimal or non-existent. Stories of children suffering eye injuries or bruises from misfires were not uncommon. Structural weakness. The materials used to manufacture the Magic Pistol were not designed to withstand the pressures generated by repeated chemical reactions. Over time, the toy's structure could weaken, increasing the likelihood of cracks or breaks. This structural failure posed a dual hazard: potential cuts from sharp edges and the risk of the toy exploding in a child's hand. Fire hazards. Given the flammability of acetylene gas, the Magic Pistol posed a fire hazard if it was used near combustible materials. Improper storage of the calcium carbide compound could also lead to unintentional fires or explosions in the home, especially if the substance came into contact with water. Recall and legacy. As awareness of the dangers posed by the Buck Rogers Magic Pistol grew, it became a subject of concern among advocacy groups. Although recalls were less common in the mid-20th century, the toy was eventually discontinued due to mounting reports of injuries and accidents. Let's analyze the example. Which supports and barriers were in play? What were the dynamics? Who, or what, won the tug-of-war? Discuss the outcome with your friends and family. Use Post 4 as a reference for the relationships and dynamics between the supports and barriers. Thanks for watching.